Good morning. I hope you're well on this Saturday. Someone told me the other day that they just feel always on edge, that this past 10 months has just shaken them to the very core. I understand that. Everything about our lives has changed since this pandemic hit. And it's not just the virus, it's everything else that's been happening in our lives. And so I was thinking this morning, where do we find relief? Where do we go for hope? Without a doubt, the 23rd Psalm is a good place to start. Actually, it's the most famous of all the Psalms. Many know it by heart, say it at funerals and when we're under stress. And so I thought maybe we could look at it today. But I'd like you to listen to it from the Passion Translation. The Lord is my best friend and my shepherd. I always have more than enough. He offers a resting place for me in his luxurious love. His tracks take me to an oasis of peace, the quiet brook of bliss. That's where he restores and revives my life. He opens before me pathways to God's pleasure and leads me along in his footsteps of righteousness so that I can bring honor to his name. Lord, even when your path takes me through the valley of deepest darkness, fear will never conquer me, for you already have. You remain close to me and lead me through it all the way. Your authority is my strength and my peace. The comfort of your love takes away my fear. I'll never be lonely, for you are near. You become my delicious feast even when my enemies dare to fight. You anoint me with the fragrance of your Holy Spirit. You give me all I can drink of until my heart overflows. So why would I fear the future? For your goodness and love pursue me all the days of my life. Then afterward, when my life is through, I'll return to your glorious presence to be forever with you. David wrote this psalm, remembering his days as a shepherd. See, David knew sheep. He knew their needs. He knew their vulnerabilities. He knew their worth. And he knew the care they needed to simply live. It all depended on the shepherd. Later, he would remember this as he looked back at the times he was facing similar things: fatigue, hunger, fear, harsh living conditions, and intense disappointment. He remembered how, just like the helpless sheep, God protected him, took care of him, kept him safe. He realized how much God was just like a good shepherd taking care of his sheep. And so he wrote this glorious psalm of praise that declares that the Lord is my shepherd and my friend. And this good friend, this good shepherd's desire is to take care of us. See, like a good friend, the shepherd knows that life beats up my soul. It's often challenging, demanding, confusing. I have to make all kinds of decisions. Look, I try to love people, but I mess up. I make plans and they often fall apart. Every day I deal with situations that leave me feeling anxious, weary, discouraged. The last 10 months hasn't only altered my life, it's terrified and turned all of our lives upside down. And I don't know about you, but my soul needs constant refreshing and comfort. But if David is right, the shepherd knows this. In fact, he walks right alongside me, leading me to quiet waters and green pastures when mine feel like they're drying up. I love how the Passion Version calls it an oasis of peace. Man, who doesn't need that right now? And the best thing is, when I surrender to his leading, God takes me to places where weary exhaustion begins to die and life is refreshed, where I begin to live with hope and joy. And I really want that. See, if the Lord is my shepherd, then I actually have all I need. I truly do have enough. I just need to believe that, to trust that no matter what I'm going through, he's with me. In fact, he never leaves my side. And as we journey together, he opens up a path for me when I can't see my way. But the key to finding this bliss I so long for is giving all of me to God every day. And that's the part I struggle with. Maybe you do too. Oh, I start out with good intentions, but then the day starts, and little by little I forget my shepherd. And I start trying to handle everything on my own until I make a mess, and I need him to rescue me. Look, we know we're not guaranteed immunity from the knocks of life and the problems of living in a flawed world. But we also know we can claim a shepherd who will provide all of our needs, giving us more than enough. And so this is what I'm thinking, actually what I'm learning, that we aren't alone as we wind our way through life. God knows our hardships and our fears, and he's committed himself to us. And so if God is our shepherd and we are his sheep, then we can give him control of our lives. And when we do that, look at what there is to gain. God meets our needs. He gives us peace. He helps us overcome fear. He never leaves us alone. You know, sometimes we get bogged down in our circumstances and we just decide that's the way it'll always be. We take on this woe is me attitude and completely ignore all of the blessings that God has given us. We figuratively pitch our tent in the dark valley. And when we do that, we rob ourselves of the joy that can come from our relationship with God. In fact, I wonder how many blessings I've missed because I didn't see a situation from the right perspective, God's perspective. Because I didn't reach out to God and trust my good shepherd enough when he was right there, ready and willing to help me. So, here's the thing. During the valleys of life, don't choose to camp out and wallow in your misery. Instead, starting today, trust in your good shepherd. Work on it if you have to. And just put one foot in front of the other and let him take care of the rest. That's what I'm going to do. Now, stay safe. Wear your mask. Keep washing your hands. Stay home unless you absolutely need to be out. And always find a blessing and give some praise for it. Stay hopeful. Know we will get through this. Know I love you and I am praying for you. Hang in there. Stay hopeful for sure. God bless you and have a great weekend. Peace.